So you talked about bulking, where you eat, like for you, 500 more calories, probably in the form of carbs.
Yep. Yeah.
In order to maximize putting on muscle, and you put on like 10 pounds in 7 months, and you know you're going to put on some fat in the process.
Right.
That's okay.
It's uncomfortable, but it's okay.
Talk to me about that. You smiled. You like that uncomfortable?
No, it's uncomfortable. It's, you know, in bodybuilding, you go to an extreme of being very small. So like for a stage, it was like 12% body fat or whatever, which for women is very low. And I felt really good.
It's incredibly low.
It's incredibly low. And also, along with the incredibly low body fat, you get an incredible amount of compliments. So you get this ego-filled. You're so great. You look amazing. Your
It probably feels good. Yeah.
It feels good. So all of a sudden, your self-love that you had on your own starts to become fed by other people, and then it becomes dependent on the other people that are validating how amazing you look. And so then you like, if you're not careful and you're not connected to yourself enough, which for a moment I wasn't, I started panicking when the abs started slowly disappearing. And all of a sudden, that self-worth that I had, that I had worked so hard to get, started to slip away, because it is a daily process. There are days where I wake up and I go, oh, why isn't this way or that way? And then I have to get grounded, connect with myself and say, you're okay in this moment. I love you just as you are.
Listen to that, and then you kind of block it out and get back to this.
Right. And go, oh, that's a cute thought. I do this sometimes. I'm like,
that's good.
Like, let's just give
That's how you get rid of it.
No, thank you.
Is that like a sound? Is it an auditory thing that you're doing?
No, it's just like a physical, like, I'm just letting it go. Like, get that out of here.
But like the thought, do you hear it?
Oh yeah, I hear it.
And this is you.
And I'm like, that is so interesting. I'll laugh at myself, because I'm like, oh, I'm so human. I'm just having a human reaction.
It's really interesting how you do that.
Yeah.
You push it away, and then so you push away the auditory, and then you replace it with an auditory, a more healthy thing. Because
the truth is, what's here doesn't matter. This really doesn't matter. My body doesn't matter. I know it appears as though it does, but it is how I feel about my body that matters.
I would say it's more important, but it matters.
It matters.
Well, maybe not as much.
But for my reality and my truth is that I could be the smallest I've ever been and hate myself. I could be the biggest I've ever been and love myself. How I'm going to occur to the world and how I show up in the world is dependent solely on how I appear or how I feel about myself in that moment. Because if I'm shut off and I don't love myself, people can feel that. Even when I'm like, oh, I'm a little bit bigger than I normally am or whatever it is, and I feel confident, people are attracted to me because I'm confident. Does that make sense? This might be a little weird.
No, it makes total sense. You're saying what's more important to you is how you feel on the inside, moment to moment, and less so what you look like and appear on the outside. Because you can look great, be 12% body fat, and hate yourself on the inside, or be distracted with what others see you as and start to kind of get. So it sounds like what you're saying is you got a little bit attached to.
Oh yeah.
And then. Sure, I'm sure that felt good.
Of course,
Who wouldn't
it felt
want
good.
People coming up to them being like, "You look amazing."
Yeah.
Maybe not in that kind of creepy.
It totally gets really validating.
I bet that is addictive.
It is.
But but the same process, you were able to kind of come back and ground yourself on your inner life,
and I feel
being
there.
in touch with that.
I feel there now, and there are moments where I, as you saw, like I had moments of. Am I too big? Am I this? Am I that? Because I have deep-seated fears of being too muscular and too, whatever it is.
What if you're too muscular? Then what?
Then nothing. It doesn't mean anything.
No. But I mean, what's the fear?
The fear is that I'm gonna seem manly.
And so what if you seem manly? Then what?
So then I'm unattractive.
You're unattractive, and if you're unattractive,
then I don't have any worth.
Then you're not worth anything. You're not lovable,
not worthy.
Or a man wouldn't want you, or whatever.
Right.
The rejection.
But the truth
kind of
is,
the deep-seated fear of rejection.
Right, deep-seated, fear of rejection, and like I'm not good enough. It's all about looking good.
Shame. I mean, that touches your shame.
Totally.
Yeah.
And the cool thing, though, for me now is that I feel more womanly than I do now than I did ever before. I've like been able to create curves and
womanly,
shapes.
like feminine.
Like I feel more feminine now than I ever.
Do you use that word, feminine?
Yeah, I guess.
Is that word okay?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel more feminine in
How do you
this body.
feel more feminine in this more muscular body?
I feel more feminine in this body because like when I was running, I didn't have, like I lost everything, so I didn't have any curve. I used to run marathons, so I had nothing. And now
I see, okay.
I was just, and not that that's wrong or bad, and that's somebody's ideal body type. For me, I was just like, oh, I want a butt. You know, I want booty. I want to create like a curve. I wanted to create a strong body, and so I feel more empowered in this body, and I just feel more connected to my femininity than anything.
You like this appearance better.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the coolest thing I think about bodybuilding and fitness is you can do whatever you want.
You can
if
shape
you pick
your
up
body
one weight, you're not gonna. It took me like 2 years to build muscle, you know?
Yeah.
So it's not like it's gonna happen overnight. And so people get really scared, as I did, that I would look too whatever. But if you feel as though you're getting too big, then you just stop.
I think that's a common fear of women
100%.
or even both sexes is to turn into something that's not attractive to the opposite sex.
Right.
Exactly, because it touches your shame. Men, in the same way. I mean, I have this problem of getting too big and too muscular. It's a very common thing that I've run into. But I've heard from, female friends where they're like, don't lift so much that you turn into a freak. But it's the same message of this is not attractive. It's too much. You're too muscular and bulky. Don't look like a steroid freak, which clearly people are confused. It's so massive that is a turnoff. But I get it. I can understand the same thing.
Which is honestly why I do not comment on people's bodies typically.
In general.
I try not to comment good or bad.
I think you can say it in a way where not like, hey, you look big.
Yeah.
Which I said to you, I'm sorry.
No.
I think you can say it like, wow, looks like you've been really working hard. You've made some accomplishments.
Right.
What does this mean? Like in a way like that, not like you look hot. Although I think that's.
I know it's kind of that hit or miss.
I
just try not to comment on people's food or their weight.
Like you don't want to give them a complex.
Yeah, I don't want to give them a complex, especially with clients. I'm like, your food is perfect as it is in this moment. Here's where we could fix it, or like, here's what we could maybe do a little bit better. But I never tell them your food was bad today.
See, I like positively reinforcing good food.
Which I will say.
You're eating vegetables and good.
So that is
the
different.
Way, more of that.
Yeah, I will positively reinforce that, but I won't shame anyone on their food ever.
No.
If they're like, I ate 10 bags of Skittles, I'm like, okay, great. So tomorrow let's where could we do something different? And I offer
let's do 9.
Yeah, and because that's how I started. And so it is really important for me to make sure that I give them like, hey, well, where do you think that you could do better? How did you feel after you ate that?
Yeah, you guide them. You kind of gently guide them through that process.
Yeah, not this is wrong or bad.